One of the hardest things to do in life is to stand still and enjoy life when you got so many options. Hey, yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy FRE, $H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's TheFlyBoy. Don't ask why, just check out the channel. And we are in Barranquilla, Colombia. Man, oh man. Back to back. Back to back. One thing I noticed is that I'm getting older. I'm 41 years old. I'm about to be 42 in July. And eventually I'll retire at 50. And then life will be different than what it is now. Since the age of 14, when I've been working, I'm gonna get to everybody in the chat in a second. Since the age of 14, when I've been working, I've been like doing a lot. I've been as far as activities in school, working full time, getting good grades. I was talking to the ladies, doing all this stuff. And what I realized is that as I get older, I have to learn. And this is gonna sound crazy to some people who can't really comprehend it. I have to learn and become disciplined in the ability of staying still. When I say staying still, I mean knowing that I have options. For example, I am here in Barranquilla, Colombia. Financially, I am good. I have a bunch of different ladies who would love to hang out tonight. I wanted to just take one to lunch, but she goes, "Hey, let's make lunch for tomorrow. Do you want to come to Kili, which is a beach club in Puerto Colombia that I've been to before, and I have a connection there who can get me reservations. And do you want to come and hang out with me and my girls?" Now, of course, that probably means I'm going to be fronting the bill. But she said, "I'm already here with my girls." I said, "Hey, I'm a YouTube content creator. I'm not really comfortable because your friends are not going to want to be on camera and all this stuff." She goes, "No, we all would like to be on camera, and you could come and you can do that." And I said, "Damn, let me put stuff into motion." Now, today is supposed to be a chill day because if you've been watching my lives, I started in Bogota. I had some fun. And then I came to Barranquilla. I had some fun, got some content in both places. And today is supposed to be my chill day so I can get prepared for my trip to what I thought was going to be Santa Marta tomorrow. However, I realized that when I booked the Airbnb about 30 minutes away, further than Santa Marta, in a place called Taganga. And it's on a hill. And it's going to be very romantic for me and the woman I'm bringing, which I don't want to tell you guys who, but you probably can have an assumption of who. But who I'm bringing for the next 2 days. During those 2 days, I'm going to be shooting drone videos. I'm going to be exploring the area. I may take the 30-minute Uber to Santa Marta so I can get drone there. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff with the woman I'm with. So I know I'm going to be very active, and I need a day to rest. Between those two first days and the next 2 days that's coming after this, I need a day to rest. And one thing I realized is that I have to train myself to not just go out and do stuff when I have so many options. And it's been hard. It's been very difficult because I know when I retire, one, I'm not going to be able to have the energy to do all this stuff when I get older. Because at 50, I think I'll still be able to do most of the stuff I'm doing now. But I think going 55, 60, 65, if I make it to 72 like I'm supposed to, or 74 like I should, I really believe it's going to be a very difficult thing having all this energy to do stuff, knowing I can't. So I'm trying to wean myself out of having all these, because I'm going to always have the options. I feel as though, knock on wood, I should always have the options. But I need to be able to control and to be disciplined enough to understand, hey, it's okay to just sit in the house and relax, even without company, when I could literally call up company right now. I also have to go tomorrow to get my phone switched over at the before I even go to the Taganga, Colombia. I have to go. I'm gonna shout you guys out in the room in a second. I have to go to the mall to get my phone switched with another woman who actually got me the phone line, and she's gonna come with me to get my phone switched so I can switch from the Android to the iPhone I have now. So again, I really wanted to take this day to just lay around and relax and conserve my energy. But it's Colombia, it's Barranquilla, it's 6:30 at night, and I just know I could easily get some beautiful woman to come over and just relax with me. But I need to be disciplined enough to understand that even that exerts energy, and I need to keep my energy. So with that said, I'm gonna go to the chat. I'm gonna shout you guys out, and then we'll come back to this conversation. So let me go to the chat. Shout out to Just Vaughn in the building, global and international in the building. Happy Easter, everybody. If you're not religious, happy Sunday, everybody. We're enjoying this beautiful day. They said it was going to be really calm, and everybody in Colombia took like this week to really like be religious and be with their family. Bro, there's so much stuff to do. It is literally so much stuff to do. I just told you about the one girl who has 4 friends with her who are willing to be on camera. There's another woman that wants to go out to eat. Shout out to HD Children in the building. What up? What up? What up? D Henry said we back. Man, we've been back since Friday. We've been back since Friday in Colombia. Actually, technically, we got to Colombia on Friday. Yeah, technically, we got to Colombia on Friday. We got to Bogota on Friday. We got to Barranquilla yesterday. Ray. Shout out to Carlito in the building, man. I keep seeing the Ray family travel. Shout out to Carlito in the building. Good brother I met in Cali last year. We are going back. We are going back. We're going back. We're going back to Cali in August for Petronio Alvarez Music Festival. Air flight already booked. Airbnb with the pool and the jacuzzi rebooked. Hopefully the homie G's gonna be there. He's gonna go book the Airbnb we stayed at before, where Rico Rich owns. Kings and Dreams is supposed to be there. It's gonna be so Brother Kobe. There's gonna be so many people. I think International Zoe said it's gonna be here. There's gonna be so many people in Cali, Colombia. So again, it's about balance. Because I did the whole filming with shout out to Mentuition, and we did a live stream masterclass while we were there. This time, I'm trying to be more relaxed and calm. Will I still shoot film? Of course, I'll shoot some, but I won't be going as hard as I did to give you guys the masterclass because, again, I'm trying to slow down. I'm trying to be more relaxed because I understand when you get to retirement age, there's never a quick drop off. You keep that same energy, and I got to prepare. I got to prepare for things to change, and this is one way I think is very important for me. So to do less, maybe post less videos, do more. I'll probably post the same amount of lives because it's not to take too much editing. But even this year, I'm not doing much editing on videos and stuff. I'm just posting lives. Sometimes I do videos. I do a lot of shorts, but those things don't take a lot of energy or a lot of planning to do. Let's see. Shout out to Global International says, I'm by the lake, bro. A lot of BBQ and picnics going on. Is lit. Yeah. I can imagine, especially if it's warm. Shout out to Brianna. What up? Shout out to Passport Privilege. Salute. Shots. The Slice Bread says, you got to link up with the cleaning lady. The cleaning lady, no. But even if I wanted to, she doesn't live in Barranquilla. She lives somewhere else. Actually, she is in Barranquilla, but no. Shout out to 916 in the building. Process the journey. Salute. OG Mike D in the building. I believe OG Mike D is actually about 160. No, he is about 98 miles away from me in Cartagena. He's living the expat life. Again, there's more options. This is why I try to slow down because I know it's not a good idea to keep rushing, doing all this stuff, even though I know I could do it, because I need to slow down for preparation of retirement and preparation of just relaxing. And again, going down to Cartagena, linking up with Mike D, going to check out Rooftop CTG with Unc J and everybody. It will be something I can easily do. I got a driver. I got a personal driver who can take me anytime. I can take a $7 or $10 shuttle to the place and come back in the morning, stay at the Airbnb there. There's so many options. This is why when I tell people when I retire and I do become an expat, I think then you'll start to see a lot of the stuff that I was telling people. I don't understand why people who are expats don't have so much to do like when I'm here. Because when I'm here, I'm thinking I have so many options of whenever I want to do. I can literally have a different woman every day come relax, and we could do stuff on camera. Don't have the energy as much, but I could do that. I can literally go to another town. I can literally do this. It's just to bring you guys the content to show you guys what's possible. But I'm really trying to settle down and slow down because I know it's going to be a different life. And I'm 8.5 years away from retirement when that different life starts. So again, shout out to OG Mike D TVs. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Shout out to if you guys got any questions, this is helping me actually slow down too, coming on live and discussing things with you guys and maybe giving you updates of what I'm going to do for the rest of this trip and things like that, or do for the rest of the year. This is helping me slow down, not like going outside to do something or going out to the mall or going out this place, even though I got so much to do. And we'll talk about more of what I got to do the rest of the time I'm here after I finish shouting you guys out. Shout out to TCB World Travel. What up, Fly Boy? Give me the TDLR story on what you up to now. TDL time, distance, location. Which TDLR? I'm not even acting like I know what TDLR stands for or abbreviation. Let me know what it is, and I can see what I can do. Shout out to John Madden in the building. Salute. The Sunday Night Smoke Live was epic. Again, I tell people a lot, like, you got to understand branding. You got to understand what you can and what you can't do. When someone allows me on their channel and I can actually speak my mind, you're going to see more open to who I am, because I'm not able to show, even though I'm always transparent, I'm not able to be as transparent on this channel anymore. Because remember, my Black Man's God, which was PG-13, got taken down. And it got taken down. And even though I do have connections now with YouTube, and it may never happen again, because now I can contact certain people to get me right. I still understand that this channel is more important, which is the reason why I created the second channel, the Flyboy Way Live. So if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to the Flyboy Way Live, where I'm able to be more and more open to you guys, giving you guys more of who I am, like when people meet me in person. Just because that channel's not monetized, I'm able to really express myself, and I still, I don't really curse like that, but I give you more into detailed things. Let's see. Video King says, you're going to do the 24-hour streaming again? No more. I only did a 24-hour live stream because I was trying to give people a live stream masterclass, to give people another option to keep people's attention, to educate people during the live stream without crashing out. That can cause you to be in jeopardy of your health, in jeopardy of your channel, in jeopardy of life, of a lot of stuff. I wanted to give people another option. And so I showed them how I could keep active during a whole live stream. Shout out to Mentuition. Mentuition was only supposed to give me like 2 or 3 hours each live stream. Most of our live streams lasted 5 hours, 6 hours. One of them almost lasted 7 hours. We broke day to the point it was the next day and the sun was out when we ended the live stream. So that took a lot of energy. Trust me, it got so bad, and this is what I tell you about me having to slow down. It got so bad, I thought I had a disease because my face shut down. Like, I got home, and like the day after I got home, my whole face, it just like, it felt like it was leaning. Like it felt like, even though it looked the same, it felt like it was like I had a stroke or something, because my whole face just felt like dragged down, and I slept like 17 hours. Luckily, I didn't have to work. I slept like 17 hours on and off, of course. Like, I wake up every 7 hours, but like I literally like slept 17 hours in a row. And I took it as a sign of my body saying, dog, you are now 41. You're about to be 42. There's no way that you can continue. And you've been doing this since 14, having multiple jobs, doing this stuff since 14. There's no way you can continue with this stream of energy and stream of going, because you can. You got to slow down, or your body's going to give up on you. I don't smoke. I don't drink often, but your body's going to give up on you. So I had to readjust myself. So I won't be doing a 24-hour live in Colombia. I'll still do some lives, walking and stuff. But most of the time, I'll just be enjoying the time with the friends I have. I'll be probably going to sleep earlier. Whereas last time I wasn't going to sleep till like 7 in the morning every morning. The earliest I went to sleep was like at 4. And if I went to sleep at 4, I usually had a girl with me, which usually kept me up until a little bit longer. But This time I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna enjoy myself. But slow down. Shout out to Global Travel says, does Mike? He does. Mike OG Mike TV has a channel. He doesn't live stream as much, but he does create videos. So just check out his channel. Shout out to, speaking of another brother with a channel. Shout out to DCPRT, man. Paradise Club. What up, fam? I'm out here in Medellin, Colombia. What part you at? We in Barranquilla. Yeah, we in Barranquilla, Colombia, man. Again, I told people I'm not editing videos a lot, but I do want to kind of go back around Colombia and get live streams because I know the importance of people seeing something live and not being able to discredit it because it was edited. A lot of people's excuse, which you'll never be able to satisfy everybody, but a lot of people's excuse for why certain content looks a certain way is that, oh, they just edited out the bad parts, or they just edited to make them look better. But they don't realize that there are some people like myself who don't edit. Only time we edit stuff out is because it was boring. It was just like lag. So like when you see me doing the live streams, no one could deny nothing is edited out. But you also see like a 15-minute part where I might be catching an Uber to another place, and there's nothing going on there, which normally I would just cut out. But again, y'all, you can't satisfy everybody, but I understand there will be some people who don't understand the difference. So now I do want to have more live streams where you guys do you see me last night? If you watch me on the Flyboy Live channel, that's where all the IRLs will be. All the IRLs will be on the Flyboy Live channel. The desktop or laptop lives will be on here. Some will be on the live channel as well, depending on the topic, depending on what I need to discuss, because there are some things I'm not able to say here while I'm still here, but I can say on the smaller channel. Yeah, I'm in Barranquilla. Shout out to Mr. T in the building. What up? He said, what time is it? What time is it over here? Right now it's 6:46 over here. So I think it's an hour difference between Colombia and at least New Jersey. Good place to stay in Barranquilla. Okay, so normally I used to stay at District 90. It's an amazing place to stay. It has security, is in walking distance to a lot of different stores and stuff. It also has a jacuzzi and a pool. But the issue is that the District 90 only has, which is in the north of Barranquilla. That's the only place I would suggest staying for people is in the north of Barranquilla. The north of Barranquilla above Carrera 46. It's like a street 46. Anything above 46 is pretty much the north of Barranquilla. Currently, I'm in the Alta Prada area. And the reason why I changed from the district to where I'm at now is because the district only has 1 studio apartments and 2 bedrooms. And the 2 bedrooms in the district don't have a balcony. It's very important that I get fresh air when I'm somewhere. I can go out on the balcony and relax, especially if I got women coming over. And the studios, they have balconies, but they're so small. I like having at least 2 bedrooms. But a good area to stay in Barranquilla, a great one, the north of Barranquilla. Shout out to Capricorn Way. What up? Shaloop, too long, didn't read. Well, I don't know what you mean. Oh, too long, didn't read. Oh, that's TLD. Let me go back to the question. The question was, give me the too long, didn't read. No, that's not right. Because it's not TL, it's TDLR. Too long, didn't read. Okay, so maybe he meant TLDR. Okay, too long, didn't read story. About what? Okay, I'll give you the too long, didn't read story when I end all the comments. I want to make sure I get to everybody's comments who showed up because I know people will be joining in and out the live, and then we'll get to the update what I've done so far on this trip and what we're going to do for the rest of the trip. We got here on Friday and we'll be leaving on Sunday, not today, next Sunday. So I'll give you the TLDR of this trip. Again, shout out to Mr. T. Shout out to Capricorn Way, Chaloop. Shout out to YE. Thank you for letting me know all that, what that meant. I am now in Barranquilla. I'm now in Barranquilla. I was in Bogota yesterday, the day before yesterday. I'm in Barranquilla now. Brothers like shout out to Big L. Brothers like you inspired me to book my first solo trip to Colombia this summer. That's what it is, man. I'm doing this not because you're giving me the prop to inspire you, but more because there's another brother that's going to be, or another person that's going to be out there traveling. Because when you travel, you open your mind. And when you open your mind, you know the sky's limitless, man. And that's a beautiful feeling. And I want everybody to have that beautiful feeling. Shout out to Global says, Flyboy. Global International says, Flyboy, you've ever been out to Panama? Does Panama stack up to Colombia? I haven't been to Panama for more than 8 hours. I did a layover twice. Once I actually went out to like the downtown area, I guess it is, by the water. I guess like downtown area. I didn't really get to experience much, just had some food and that was it. So I'm not able to really give it if it stacks up, but just off of first look, nowhere near, because Panama is only one, Panama City is only one major area that people go to. Whereas though I don't feel as though there are any countries that will ever stack up to Colombia. And the reason why that is because of the different cultures in each part of Colombia. A lot of people in Medellin. I like Medellin for fun, but Medellin is just one culture. That's a Paisa culture. You come down to Barranquilla, that's a different culture. You go to Cali, that's a different culture. You go to Bogota, that's a different culture. So you get multiple countries in one country. So for me, I don't think anything will ever, especially Panama, I don't think anything will ever stack up to Colombia, because Colombia is not just Medellin. Colombia is not just Cartagena. Colombia is not just Bogota. I haven't even been to Bucaramanga yet. I was supposed to be going to Santa Marta, but now I'm going to Tagana, which is more with Taganaga, which is more of a vacation type vibe where you got a beach and the mountains and all this other stuff. So again, it's just so many different parts. Too long, different read again. Shout out to Godfrey. Yo, what's the name of the second channel? The name of the second channel is almost the same as this. It's The Flyboy Way Live. One word. The Flyboy Way Live. Live. And that channel only has lives. It doesn't have any edited content. It doesn't have any shorts. It only has live videos from my trips. Right now, I think we have like 50 plus videos on it. And I just created that channel last year. Basically just created that channel last year during Petronio Alvarez Music Festival. So I hope that by the time Petronio rolls around again, I can possibly get to 100 videos. I don't know, because I don't post on that channel that much, but it's live videos, whether it's at home in the States or whether it's abroad. I usually post at least one live video or two live videos a trip. What was a good question? I've been looking for that. Wow, I show speed style. Yeah, see, the difference is, and a lot of people didn't know, whenever I show speed streams, he can only go within like 15 miles or 15 minutes of one location. So when he stays in one location, he can go 15 minutes this way, 15 minutes this way, 15 minutes this way, only because they really focus on the viewer's attention. They focus on the people clicking off the video. And the further time that you have when nothing is going on, more people will click off the video. So for me, it's different. I just go wherever I go. So there may be a 30-minute taxi ride. There may be a part where we're sitting in the club and nothing is going on, and we're just walking down the street, nothing is going on, and then things start up. So a lot of the times you can either skim through it or you can watch the whole live and see it. But that gives you more of the real of what it is, because now I'm not limited to one area. I can go I can start off in Barranquilla, like I might do tomorrow, and then you turn back on the stream an hour later, and I'm in Santa Marta. You turn back on the stream an hour later, and I'm in Cartagena. You turn the stream on 3 hours later, and I'm in Medellin. But maybe not Medellin. Any flights is a little bit difficult, but you get what I'm saying. So I could be in La Guajira. So it just, on a live stream, you're liable to have a bunch of open space, but that gives more of a realistic feel to people of what it's really like. So they're not just like, and that's why I have so much edited content. That's why I'm focusing on the lives now, so people can get the real feel. It's real both ways, but you know what I'm saying. Pause. You ain't editing a lot? No, YE. I'm not editing really a lot anymore. He said, because again, all right, so I am one of the rare creators that I always tell us, it's going to start coming off as bragging, but there is no other creator in this travel space that's been on longer than me, that's been on YouTube longer than me. I've been on since 2009, and I was creating travel content, and I was creating it consistently every year. I think it was 1 year I had a car accident, so I wasn't able to create it. But every year I created content. But it's not just travel; it's lifestyle. Travel was the biggest part of my lifestyle because it opened my mind to the world. So I ended up creating a lot of travel content. I have 2,000. I have over 2,800 videos. I plan to get to 3,000. I think 3,000 is my next accomplishment. Get into 3,000 videos across shorts, across lives, across edited content. So I don't feel as though I need to show a bunch of edited content anymore. The only place I do want to do that is Thailand. And after I do Thailand, I think I might be back to my just live streaming and maybe a song edit video every now and then. But I will still be doing shorts. And so yeah, I'm not doing YE. I'm not doing editing any much. He said we want night smoke. I don't know what night smoke is. J Med says, I appreciate that, J Med. The Flyboy Way Live. What? It's no streams. It's just the Flyboy Way Live. YouTube.com/the Flyboy Way Live. Great One says, appreciate that. I'll be there next month. North of Barranquilla sounds good. It is. Again, as you're here more, you can venture out to South Barranquilla, but I'm not able to live stream in South Barranquilla without having some people with me. Because while it's not the most dangerous, you can go there and be okay as long as you come back by a certain time. I've been there multiple times. The issue is catching the cab back. Catching an Uber back is usually not going to happen. Catching the cab back might be more difficult. And if you're live streaming, you can't be by yourself. Somebody will rob you. Like 8 out of 10 chance live streaming, because with live streaming, remember, you're holding the Osmo and you got your phone in your hand. Somebody will rob you. So again, it's a little bit more quote unquote dangerous because there's a lot less opportunity. Danger doesn't come from just a place being dangerous. Is Colombia dangerous? Everywhere is dangerous. What danger comes from is you giving the opportunity to people who don't have any hope or any people who don't have any opportunity. I see this gringo walking around with his phone out, watch on, chain on, and an Osmo pocket. We could run up on him, and that could be our food for the rest of the year. That could be our rent for the rest of the year if we just rob him, take his chain, take his Osmo, take his phone. We don't have to work again for the rest of the year. Again, so opportunity breeds danger. Shout out to the Mentuition in the building, International. Steve, what up? I know they was trying to get out of the country. I just watched their video the other day when they was in Miami. Again, y'all, it's dope to see other content creators create. Make sure you subscribe to their channel, because my story is just that. It's just my story. It's not better than anybody's stories. Everybody wants to compete. Who has the best content? It just really depends on what you like. It really depends on what you like. If anything, what I would say is that when it comes to best can't be determined by who has what. It's determined by the consistency of what you do and how well you tell your story. To make people, in my book, how well you tell your story. Everybody might have a different story. Some people might be interested in the wife and kids story. Some people might be interested in a single guy who goes around the world mongering. Another person might be interested in a drama story. Another person might be interested in a peaceful, calm family story. But how you tell your story is what makes you the best or the worst, and consistency. Mentuition said they're going back to Cali. See you back in Cali. Yo, Cali gonna be nice, y'all. I hope that I'm able to, because I'm not focusing on a live stream for myself anymore, I'm hoping I'm able to bring my energy to other people's live streams. So you'll hopefully, there'll be a lot of other creators there, and you won't really see me recording as much, but you'll see me on other creators' channels, because I understand after I've understood this for the longest, but last year I went to over 5 different YouTube creator events around the United States. And what I realized is that the more people who I can bring on my channel in the communities that I'm in, the more that somebody out there in this world will find a person who works for them, who will find a story that works for them. So that's why I'm really focused on trying to bring everybody, whether I got to go to your channel, whether we meet up and we go somewhere out and you record, you get all the content, that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that I bring other people into my content realm, where somebody that may look at me like, all right, Flyboy's cool, but I seen this person on his channel, and then I followed their channel, and now I'm stuck on this person. because this person is exactly who I am. This person, for example, I got a bunch of brothers who watch me from the prison, watch me from jail, that watch me who they're doing hard time. They got 10, they got 20 years. Some people got life, and they watch me. And while I've never been in prison, they can still relate to me because they know I move in a similar fashion in certain aspects. But then I introduce them to somebody like my homie G, who might have did some time. And they be like, yo, G, you need a channel. You know why you need a channel, G? Because you could tell them the story of how you got out and became who you are and have all this stuff. And that's what I try to bring on my channel. I try to be the platform that other people have to make it so that even if they don't want to start their own YouTube channel, they come on my platform and tell their story. And then what happens is that somebody else relates to it. And now that person gets out of jail. And now that person doesn't feel like life is over. Or that person is going through it because his baby mother got him on child support, don't let him see his kid. And they see somebody else who went through that same stuff, but now they're over in Thailand, or they're over in India, wherever they're at, and they're actually living a pure life. And they're like, damn, all right, I'm gonna do that too. So again, that's the whole thing behind that. Global National says, the day you retire, does that mean you're shutting down all your channels and leaving YouTube forever? Hell no. I'm hoping I live long enough where I can say, okay, now it's time to make a postpartum video. A postpartum video, for those that don't know, I'm hoping I live long enough. If I get to like 60, I'll make that postpartum video. I try not to make it now because I don't want to wish that on myself. But if I get to 60, I'll make that postpartum video that comes after I'm dead. When I die, I want in my funeral, I want them to release a video. That'll be me talking and giving this talking to everybody, talking about life and just all in general, everything that's going on, everything that I went through in life. And like, I know I'm probably dead now, y'all, but I know I had a great life. If I could tell you anything, I would just say live a balanced life and follow your dreams. And I'll probably be more detailed in the speech and stuff like that when I say it. But if I can make it to 60, I'll make that video, and that'll come out after I'm dead. Like after I'm dead, it'll be like postmortem video. So will I ever retire from YouTube? No. This is just something. It's hard to retire. It's hard to imagine retiring from YouTube or retiring from creating content, because I don't know if YouTube will be around wherever it's at. It's hard to retire from creating content for me, because my content is just me telling my life story. So for me to retire from content, it would be like me retiring from my life story. It's kind of hard. Let's see, but I could slow down on what I'm doing in my life so I can actually, enjoy it more. YE says, so what happened to the Black Man's Guide, and how can we see the entire series? I want to watch all the Black Man's Guide videos. Okay, so we'll do a walkthrough here. Again, we got some time. Shout out to everybody in the room. In 2018, I thought of a concept, the Black Man's Guide to World Travel. And I came up with this concept not because it was a race thing or it was a cultural thing. To me, it was because there was a story not being told about the world. And it wasn't just the Black story, but it was a more inclusive story. And I feel as though as a Black man, I tell a more inclusive story, meaning than history ever has. Meaning I go to countries and you don't just get to hear from me. You get to see other people. You saw La Chiquita, who used to be called La Leche when I first met her 3 years ago. You saw the little woman and she got a chance to tell her story. You see the Venezuelan, she got a chance to tell her story. Or you see the brothers I met in Palenque and they got a chance to tell their story, all on my thing. But in history, we only got one side, the European side. So I wanted to make something different, the Black Man's Guide to World Travel. So in 2018, I thought of the concept. I had a bunch of videos from my trips. I mixed them together. In 2019, I came out with the first Black Man's Guide. They blew up automatically. Everybody knew the Black Man's Guide. Some people didn't even know who I was, but they knew the Black Man's Guide. In 2024, I was getting ready to go to Cuba. And what I do normally is I share links of updates. Before I start the footnotes, I share links of updates of other people who were traveling to the same place, who had a closer travel video, to what I was doing. So I'm not going to say whose, but I put up a couple people's links to the video. Say, hey, go and watch this video if you want to find out more updates, because I haven't been there since 2020. It's mind you, I did a Black Man's Guide to Cartagena in 2020. So 2024, I'm putting other people's links. I got a bunch of links under, and they're all YouTube links. They're not a link to another site like OnlyFans. They're not a link to another site like like anything else, any kind of site where you have nudity. There's no links, just YouTube links. And I answer everybody's question. So I was getting some questions. One kid said he was 17-year-old. You really inspired me. I want to know more about what does it mean to be a pro and all that stuff. Could have been a setup. I don't know. But at the same time, as I posted new links, I answered the questions that everybody asked. I had over 10,000 comments on one video. I had over 20,000 likes or something like that on one video, over 1 million views in the video. It wasn't a specific day like I did anything the day before. It's just once, like right before I was going to Cuba, where you know you can't get internet, I got a message saying my Black Man's Guide to Cartagena was deleted. I said, what? Mind you, this is before I had 100,000 subscribers. This is before I had connections with the people in YouTube or Google. This is before I had been to any of the creator events, even the one in LA that they invited me to. Like I hadn't had no contacts, nothing like this, and my video was deleted. The video wasn't like I worked the hardest on that video. It was just a video that grasped the most people's attention and really led to all my other videos going viral. It's something I created. I didn't just hop on a YouTuber that was famous channel and get famous off of them. There's nothing wrong with that. I didn't do that. I didn't follow a trend that everybody danced and I did a TikTok and TikTok went viral. No, that's not what I did. All I did was tell my story and people grasped to it and they held to it. So I went back and forth for a couple of days right before I went to Cuba and I didn't get a response. So now I'm in Cuba where there's limited internet. I'm filming still, but there's limited internet and all my guides are up and I'm getting no response from YouTube because with Cuba and the internet and the issue with the internet. So boom. So I'm in Cuba. I come back from Cuba. I finally see the message that they sent. We're not reinstating your video. The reason why I was deleted was for distribution of regulated goods. I don't even say certain words that enhance them. Like I hope this video don't get demonetized. I don't say prostitution. I don't say drugs. I don't say sex. I don't say a lot of words that hit that mark that make AI do all that stuff. So I didn't understand it. I did not understand it. But what I did understand is that for whatever reason, they got this one guide, they can take all my guides down. And here's the thing they don't know. They gave me a warning. I'm guessing it's because if it was a link that led to something else, it was a YouTube link. So it was like, how could I know it's on your platform? Or if it was me responding to somebody's comment with an honest answer and not just beating around the bush, then how do I know? Because they didn't say it was that. They said it was promoting regulated goods. So in my mind, I'm like, oh shoot, they gave me a warning for this one, and I keep all the Black man guides up in the public section. If they give me 2 more strikes for this, my whole channel that's been up since 2009. Now, mind you, it's since 2004. This is 2024 now. My whole channel that's been up since 2009 gets deleted. So I said, shit, I don't want to take that risk. So I put all the guys, I had to finally, your guys know I don't take money. I don't take super chats. I don't take super things. I don't take donations. I don't have GoFundMes. I don't do any of that stuff. I've never done that stuff and I never will. If I need to survive another way, I have other ways to survive. I will do that. I never do that. And there's a reason why. There's nothing wrong with people that do. I never do that. That's just something in my mind because I want you guys to focus on what I give out to you. I don't want you to think I'm doing this for the money. I don't want you to think that I don't want anybody in the future to think that, oh, this is for the money. I have to turn ads on. You have to put ads on. So I do get paid because you got to put ads on because if you don't have ads on your video won't get spread out on YouTube. Remember, YouTube is a business. So there's no reason why I would send your video to the masses if you don't even have ads on. Let alone we'll limit you because you don't have super chat on. You don't have any of the monetization stuff that we still get a part of on. I'm cool with that. So I opened the membership. I only made it $5 because there has to be a barrier. if I wanted to be able to keep my channel that I've been working on for that long, there had to be a barrier to the Black Man's Guides. So I opened the YouTube membership, made it $5 only, and I put all of the Black Man Guides behind it. But in my heart, I'm like, damn, I don't want people to have to go through what some Black people had to do back in the past, and they have to go through a barrier of having money to get the information. So in 2025, I cut the parts off of the Black Man's Guide that I think is the part that is more chance of my whole channel getting on, and I posted them back into the public. The only one I didn't do this for is the Black Man's Guide to Cartagena, and that's because I don't want YouTube to think that I'm playing around with them now that I got 100,000 subscribers, now that I have connections with the vice president connections to the vice president of YouTube, the community managers, the people below her. I have those connections now. I don't want YouTube to think I'm playing with them, and I'm putting a Black Man's Guide to Cartagena back out and just cut the part off that I think is dangerous, because then it becomes a clash. So I put I cut everything, all the other parts off, and I put it back out there because, again, now people can get the information. The only information they won't get is about the one part that I don't want to say what it is, but you guys know the one part that I talked about honestly, so that if they want to see that part, they can go to the membership and it won't be a problem. And YouTube, I don't know. I've never had anybody talk to me about this, so this is my presumption. YouTube accepted what I did, and they understood. They said, we're gonna let that rock. And they started inviting me to events. They sent me to 5 different places around the United States to meet up with other creators. They invited me to events to talk to the Google events at the Google offices. Like, so I know I was talking for a while, but somebody said, whatever happened to the Black Man's Guide? And I wanted to start from beginning to end and try to give it to you guys there. And I'll probably cut it. I'll probably cut the video and use it as a short so people can understand a full thing. I was going to create a website for the Black Man's Guide. The issue with creating a website, though, is the amount of data of sourcing, the amount of storage that I need to put the Black Man's Guide on a website in 4K without it being attached to a major website like YouTube. It's not even worth it. It's not even possible. Like, because that's gonna cost me money. It's gonna cost me money to give you guys the information versus just cutting the part out that's deadly and just putting up on here. Eventually, do I still want to make a website? I do, but again, it's just not cost efficient at all. I mean, when I say it's gonna cost a lot, we're talking $100 a month for me to be able to put out the guides in 4K the same way I could do on YouTube, just putting it on membership. So that's what happened to the Black Man's Guide. I'll get to more of your questions. We'll probably stay on this live for another 45 minutes and maybe make it a 2-hour live, I guess. We'll make it to 8 o'clock, or it's 8 o'clock over here. It's going to be 8 o'clock over here when I stop in 45 minutes, but it might be 9 o'clock where you're at. But feel free to ask your questions. I just want to give you guys that thing. Again, man, shout out to YouTube, because again, YouTube could have clipped me a long time ago. Like when they did that, when they clipped the first Black Man's Guide, the next day they could have clipped 4, 5, 6, all of them, and then my whole channel would have been deleted. But now I'm on the mission where I'm trying to get to 3,000 videos. And mind you, this is 3,000 videos. I know y'all look like, well, Mr. Beast, well, ISO Speed, well, all these people, they got this. Yeah, this is just me. I'm editing, I'm filming, I'm recording, I'm doing everything on my channel myself. There's nobody else touching this channel. Nobody else touching this channel. I don't have an editor. I don't have a person who shoots content. I don't have a person who gives me suggestions on what to do. Oh, you can do this. I don't do none of that stuff. So it, to me, will be a personal accomplishment when I hit 3,000 videos published in I started 2009 in November. And so let's just say 2009 this year. I've been on YouTube this year for 17 years. Will I get to 3,000 before then? Nah, but I should definitely get there before 18 years. I should definitely get to 3,000 before 18 years. All right, y'all. Let me get to your comments. I should have some water here. Let's see. We got some black man's guys. Shout out to Milano. Where's Milano in the building? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Global says me and you have a similar mindset on the international tip. That's super dope, man. Again, I think I hope everyone understands that when I tell you my story, it's not to say that y'all should follow the flyboy way. It's the only way. I never and will never say flyboy way is the only way. It's just a way that shows you that you can find your way. Your way might not be like my way. There's people who watch me who don't like the fact that I pay for pros sometimes, but there's people that watch me they don't like the fact that I go to regular girls. They like, yo, you can get all these pros. You got the money. Just make it more interesting to get all the pros. Or, dog, why are you getting pros if you can get regular girls? Because sometimes you want chicken and sometimes you want lobster. It don't mean that I can't do either. It just means that sometimes you want chicken, sometimes you want lobster. Shout out to Miko Worldwide Enforcer in the building. Kenya Porter says, everyone going to Cali for Petronio this year. I might have to pull up. Man, this is about to be... And this is why I'm so happy I don't feel like I have to create content. Even though I will try to, especially when there's people that I haven't had on my channel yet. I will be hopefully getting a film video when there's people I haven't had on my channel yet. Shout out to Rico Rich, owner in Black Guy, owns property and stores and nightclubs in there. I got him to tell his story, and he hasn't really told the story to anybody else. Most people, only like one other person. I think he told a story on Barbara TV channel, but he doesn't automatically open his story up to everybody. So I respect him for doing that. But so when I do meet somebody new that I haven't met yet, that's a content creator, I'm going to try to get them on my channel. But other than that, I'm just so happy I don't have to record as much when I go to Cali. I can really enjoy myself, meet the people, and Where's Milano says exactly 100. Me and the Flyboy Way changed the movement to be epic for years to come. I'll do a trip with the Flyboy Way because we have similar mentality. That's another thing I tell people. As long as a person is real, I don't mind like meeting people. Like I'm always up for meeting people. Like if you're in the same city I'm in, I don't do group trips. I just too much planning. I don't do group trips. But you'll see I have more people than anybody in any tribal community. Yeah, I've watched everybody, white, black, Indian, Latino, Asian. I watch all I have more. The only person that has more people on their channel over their channel than me is Mr. Beast. And the only reason why is because Mr. Beast gives out a lot of money. Shout out to Mr. Beast. Shout out to Team Water. But Mr. Beast gives out a lot of money. And when you got that lot of money, you get a lot of people that's going to come for the money. But there's nobody else that has had more people on their channel than me. As far as interacting, I'm not just talking about showing them on the camera. I'm talking about interactions with people from all different races, ethnicities, sexualities, levels, educations, classes, ages, all on my channel. Shout out to King Porter says, I just saw your Bogota video. 2 chicas under one roof is not feasible. Even if you're rich, bro. LOL. Also, working until 7 months is normal, but I understand that's your rule. Salute. Yeah, man. It's normal in the States because it's very difficult to do. But most people who are extremely wealthy, they don't allow the woman that's pregnant to really work. They set things up so that they can walk around, they can stay in shape because they can't just sit down on their stomach the whole time, but they can stay in shape and stuff. Most people who are extremely wealthy, they stop retiring as soon as they find out they're pregnant. I mean, they stop working as soon as they find out they're pregnant. I'm able to have that in Colombia. I was able to have that in the United States too. Like my son's mother did not work after 3 months when she found out she was pregnant. She lived with me. I paid all her bills. I gave her some money. Because at that point I was in the financial place where I needed to. She didn't have to work. She didn't go back to work till like 8 months after my son was born. Even when he was in daycare, she didn't go back to work till like 8. So if I can do that there, I can do that here. Now I do have a daughter too, but when my daughter was young, I wasn't able to do all that. I still put them in a good area, but I wasn't able to do that. But here, there's no way. I mean, I understand she wanted to own a restaurant where I could let her work the restaurant, but even that to me is like, I don't know, because something can happen in the restaurant, but it is your restaurant, so you don't have to go to work. And if you're working with your mother and another person, they can make. So again, that part made more sense to me. I would invest. I would give her the money for starting her restaurant, and I would say, hey, I'll give you the money to start your restaurant, but which might be like $2,000. and I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna go with you. But if the restaurant doesn't earn money itself to buy the other products, I'm not. It's not going to be I'm not going to let it be a dead company or a zombie company. I'm not going to keep feeding money into it if you're not making the money you need to buy your products and stuff. That'll be our deal. But as far as two women living under the same roof, of course, that was a little bit of a hopium. That was a little bit of hopium. Like, it's not likely, especially if they live in two different. If one lives in Bogota, one lives in Barranquilla. But honestly, for the United States, it's a lot more difficult. But in Colombia, in my opinion, two women who live in strata 2 or 3, whose family have always been in strata 2 or 3, if you tell them you two have to work it out, I'll put you guys in strata 5, where you don't have to worry about no violence outside. You don't have to worry about having any money to do anything. I'll put y'all both in strata 5, but y'all got to work together to raise our family like a village. Trust and believe there are many attractive women in Colombia that will do that. Many attractive women in Colombia with no kids that will do that, because you've now upgraded them from strata 2 or 3 to strata 5. And I know that might not make sense to people that don't know about stratas. That's an entirely different lifestyle. Let me give you an example. That is the difference between if you live in New York, that's the difference between living in the Bronx and living on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. If you live in LA, that's the difference between living in Compton and living in Bel Air. If you live in Florida, that's the difference from living in Miami, from living in Opelika to living on Miami Beach. If you live in Houston, that's the difference from, I don't know, but you get what I'm saying here, y'all. It's a big difference. And women who come from that, whose family have always been in that, are more willing to negotiate and say, hey, we each got our own separate space. We live in a 4-bedroom. You have 2, I have 2. Look, and if y'all don't think so, I probably shouldn't say this on my channel. I'm gonna say it because I'm cool. In my first place that I had a friend I've known for 20 years that when we first started kicking it, we used to first met, we used to sleep with each other. We used to sleep with each other, right? Her and my baby mother lived in the same house, but in different apartments in the house, and they worked together. Why? In the United States, because they come from different cultures, and they were still able to come together. Why? Because they see the bigger image. They seen the bigger picture. Even though it was only one had my kid, they would still able to work together because I brought it to them. Currently, I have another woman who I've slept with who lives on the top floor of my place, and a woman who I slept with on the bottom floor, and they're able to get along. Why? Not because I'm not having sex with either one of them, but they're able to get along. Why? Because they can see the bigger picture. So I know if that can happen, trust me, in Colombia, while it may sound unrealistic, when you have the bank to make things work and you have a great personality and you're honest, that's basic. They'd be glad to. There are best friends. There are best friends here that will have with 2 friends with no kids. They will both have a kid by you, and then live together in the same house. Again, I know if I know we were raised in American status, in United States lifestyle, where it wasn't even a thought that this is possible. But in reality, shit, bro, it's not just Colombia. It's not just Colombia. So again, I'm really gonna need to get some water because I didn't think this was gonna be aqua school. So that was the Kenya Porter. Shout out to the Travel Simba in the building, y'all. Happy Easter, man. What up, what up, what up, what up? He said, be in Colombia by the end of the week. We're going to Medellin. There's a lot of brothers in Medellin right now. Shout out to Mosa. Shout out to the Homies Hub. Shout out to Skidder. Shout out to who else is content creator that's in Medellin right now. I don't know if I don't know if Jay Clyde. Shout out to Jay Clyde. He might be in Colombia right now in Medellin. And shout out to all the other content creators. I love when there's so many different content creators in the same country, but in different spots of the country. So you guys get to see so many different lifestyles in the same country at the same time. My live goes off. You can watch somebody else's live. My video goes off. You can watch somebody else's video, and it's all in the same country. Vince. All right, Vince has a question. So let me run and get some water and come right back because I need this. I need energy. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna run and get this water and come right back. Oh, so I gotta close this. I have to close this document. 1 second, y'all. I'm getting this water and I gotta close this document. Here we go. Let me get this water. I gotta close this document. I don't want no bugs to come in. It's nighttime. Give me a second, y'all. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. I'm just closing the balcony because it's nighttime and the lights on. I don't want bugs to come. But let me turn this light off in the balcony. All right, I'm coming back, y'all. I'm in this room because the Wi-Fi is better over here. All right. We're going to get to Vince's question in a second. Hold on. Also, let me take this moment to thank you guys and ladies who are watching because you guys are really helping me stay inside and relax. Because I'm having a very hard time with all these options I got here in Barranquilla right now, man. So I appreciate you guys. I'm hoping by the end of the night, I do not have to feel like I got to bring somebody here and I can just go to sleep. Man, it's hard. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. All right. Vince Wayne says, what is your opinion? All right, so I'm reading the comments because unlike on StreamYard where I can click it and show everybody, if the comments don't pop up after the video is over, you're not going to know what I'm referring to. So I want to read the comments every time. Vince Wayne says, what's your opinion of doing IRL, streaming on mountains, climbing potential, What's your opinion of doing IRL streaming on mountains, climbing, and potential problems of this? Okay, let's start with the basis. IRL streams are the most riskiest videos, that you can make. And a lot of people don't fully understand how risky they are. One, if something happens on your IRL stream, for example, there was a guy when IShowSpeed was in Egypt, and he walked up to Egypt. I got something with a G, and it's big in my hand. It's a G, and he pulls out a green apple, and IShowSpeed freaks out because the guy did it real quick. If that guy had pulled out a grenade, and it wasn't IShowSpeed, that person's channel would have got deleted because he had no control over the fastness of what happened. If he'd have pulled out a grenade and just showed the grenade on camera, his channel would have got deleted. There were some streamers went to New Orleans. In New Orleans, they show breasts for beads. That's what they do. If the women flash their breasts for beads and you just so happen to be doing a walking stream, if you don't delete that video within a certain amount of time, you can lose you can get a strike. You won't lose your channel. You can get a strike. If it happens more than once, you can lose your channel. IRL streams in general are so risky because you do not have full control of your area. So that's the first risk. Now, doing extreme sports on it is even more of a risk because let's say you have the Osmo Pocket or you got something on your head where you're climbing and stuff. It could be really cool, right? But you're focusing on entertaining the audience at the same time you're focusing on climbing can be very difficult. You may be a master of it, but then somebody may say something or you might read something, or I don't even know how you read when you're climbing, but something may occur where you take your focus off of what you're doing that could be saving your life, and it could be in there. And then let's say you don't die, and now you have a video you falling off a cliff that's live and hit the ground, and now there's blood everywhere and your legs broke. It's not that it's embarrassing. That's something that you can get kicked off of YouTube for. or kicked up. So it becomes even more riskier. And like, there's no risk reward because yes, a bunch of people may watch you climbing the mountain, but if you fall, now you hurt and you lose your channel. Yeah, I mean, again, I personally wouldn't do that. But again, IRLs in real life, and I mean, this is considered an IRL too. But when I'm talking, I consider this more live streaming than IRL. I feel like IRL is more outside, doing stuff. But this, I can understand people considering this IRL too. If I have like women or I have like people, and I have people doing stuff. I believe like I don't know if it was a Deshae Frost or somebody. They had a stream once where they was live streaming, but it appeared it could have been, I don't know if it was true, but they was getting oral sex underneath the table of the live stream. And towards the end of the live stream, the girl comes up from the table and the video gets taken down. Again, so this could be considered a live stream, but I consider IRLs more. This is a live stream, but it could be considered IRL if you got things going on because you really can't control your environment as much. But I consider most IRLs when you're outside walking and doing stuff like that. So again, very riskiest things. Shout out to Kirby in the building. What up, Fly? YE says thanks for sharing. You got it, man. Black Phoenix, what up? What up, Black Phoenix? Global International. Do you save your money being your own editor or publisher on your own video content, or you own everything? Okay, yeah, of course. Of course, if you got to pay somebody to edit. And you gotta pay them a lot because you gotta do it the way you want it. I'm saving a lot of money. It did take me a while to perfect what I do. Again, I've been on here a lot. I actually been creating content before I was on YouTube in 2009, but it took me a while to learn how to do stuff. Then it took me a while to learn what YouTube accepts. Then it took me a while to learn how I want to still put stuff, a lot of stuff. So and yeah, I what did you say was the other question? So I do save money on editor and publishing. I publish my own stuff. And yes, I own everything. I own everything. That's the most important thing, ownership. I own everything. The only thing that is more difficult that will get lost if I had to ever start a new channel is the live streams. Because a lot of the live streams I stream directly to YouTube because it stops it from breaking up. And I also stream directly to YouTube because it's simple. And now that YouTube has 1080p and I can use my Osmo Pocket 3 for a live stream webcam, which puts the 1080p, making it look good. Now YouTube has a lot of my content because I do live streams. But I keep all of my SIM cards in a fireproof safe. Like I don't really keep money and stuff in the safe, but I keep my SIM cards because the money you can get back, what I'll never be able to get back is the time and moments that I had. If I lose the SIM cards or something happens, I still remember all that stuff. Hopefully YouTube still be around. But I try to protect my SIM cards the most, more than the money as far as that I have in the house, because of the fact that you can't recreate things that happen the exact same way they happen. Let's see. JM says, what are your thoughts on relocating to Bogota, Colombia? Okay, so I haven't been to Bogota, Colombia long enough. I've been there twice where I actually went to the hotel, I got to hang out with ladies. But overall, from the research I've been doing, I feel like if you don't mind eternal fall, like you know how Medellin is eternal spring with the weather. If you don't mind eternal fall, more chilly days, it's cool. Also, if you're trying to have a kid, Bogota is probably the best place to have a kid because the schooling in Bogota is better. It's easier to get jobs. And it's a more international city than any part of Colombia. We're just specifically talking about Colombia right now. And if you have a woman in Bogota that you have a kid with or dating, you can go to other parts of Colombia and have relationships, and that woman won't care. Because odds are, unlike the United States, a lot of men don't travel throughout the country. There are a bunch of people in Barranquilla that's never been to Medellin. There's a bunch of people in Medellin that's never been to Bogota. There's a whole bunch of people all over in Bucaramanga, in Santa Marta, in Cartagena that's never been to Cali. So again, what are my thoughts on it? From the Venezuelan woman that I have there, she tells me the violence is less violence in Bogota than Barranquilla. Is more opportunity. from Googling is they pay more. So again, that's the only thing I can tell you from there. So Process the Journey says, the Petronio Alvarez festival video you did with Kobe and Mentuition last year was epic and does not get talked about enough. That was real culture with the locals being shown. Again, I don't really do it for it to be talked about, but I understand what you're saying. 1,000%. I agree too. But I don't do it for it to be talked about. I do it to track history. Because regardless if it's talked about or not, it's history. If people can go back and see that, it's history. And I do think that it was talked about a lot because there's so many people going this year. There's so many people going this year because they've seen it. They've seen the videos. They've seen the play video. So again, it's not my like my goal, my purpose doesn't ever revolve around the numbers or the impact of speech or people saying. It involves in putting stuff out there that can help people based on my real story. And again, if you like all of my story and you not me, yo, you gotta chill. Something gotta be wrong. You gotta be parts of my story that you just don't agree with, you don't like. I think everyone has that, or I'm faking the funk, and I know that's not a thing. So if it does, it does. Black Phoenix says, "What up with the cow?" Oh my god, I'm trying not to stay out. Come on, give me a second, y'all. I'm trying not to go out so much, but I don't want to not answer the women that are hitting me up. Good. All right. Let's see. Black Phoenix says, what up with Cali Festival dates? The Cali Festival dates are from Wednesday, the 12th of August until Tuesday, the 25th of August, I believe. I am going to be there from the 14th, which is a Friday, because I didn't want to take off work. So I'm going to go after work on a Friday until the 24th. So I'm going to be there 10 days, not as much as I was there last time, but I'm going to be there 10 days of August. So the whole festival starts from I believe the 12th or the 13th of August to the 24th or 25th of August. I think the last day is on the 24th because the 24th is a holiday. So the last day is on the 24th, I think. Shout out to the best friend ever. Salute, bro. To the ex-boy. X-Man almost how you get dog. Man, my son gonna be taller than me, bro. That's one thing. My like, I don't even know how height work really. Like I'm 5'9". My daughter's mother is like 5'8". My son's mother's like 5'7". Both of my kids are gonna be taller than me. My daughter might be taller than me already. Actually, she is taller than me already. My son gonna be taller than me. Like I wasn't even that. So I don't know. It's something, but I put him in the headlock real quick. My boy, you in Colombia for good now? Let's go back. Missed a couple. Let me see. Shout out to Eddie Kane in the building. Eddie Kane says, my boy, you in Colombia for good now? No. What I am doing now is because I want to have a kid in Colombia. And you guys know I am a hands-on father. I understand that I have to be able to work out a thing to see if I can come to Colombia every other month. Because all of the women that I have spoken to said that every other month is sufficient for them to consider me being in my kids' lives. And I also believe it's sufficient, especially since it's only for 8 years. The first 8 years is when I'm going to be coming to Colombia every other month to spend time with whatever kids I have. After the 8 years, I'll retire from my job. Then I can be in Colombia. And most importantly, my son will be 18 already. So once I retire from my job and my son is 18 and he has a place to stay, my daughter has a place to stay because my properties, they have rental units where my son can stay in one unit. I'll stay in the same unit when I'm there and I can rent the other floors. And my daughter can stay in a basement that's fully furnished in the other house. And I can rent all the floors and make money off of that so that they don't have to pay anything. Or they do, I will make them pay because they got to learn. So they pay maybe like $500 or something like that. But they have a place to live. It gives me the opportunity to come to Colombia and be there for my 8-year-old. Well, no, it wouldn't. My kid wouldn't even be 8. My kid would be 7 because if I have a kid now, the kid wouldn't be born to 2027. So and that'd be it. So the kid would be like 7 years old by the time I'm over here and I'm able to be over here for months at a time. So again, right now I'm not in Colombia permanently. Eddie Kane, what I'm doing is I'm just working a program. I was here in February. Let's go. I was here in February for Barranquilla Carnival. I didn't come in March. I was here and I'm here now in April. I also went to Bogota, where I think I will have a kid at. But I came to Barranquilla. I might also have a kid at too. And that's now in April. In May, now this time, in May, I'm going to Bogota again. So I'm going to spend 8 months this year in Colombia. But I'm going to Bogota again in May. And then in June, I might go to Cuba because I do want to still go to Cuba. I enjoy Cuba. I just wanted to wait to things to cool down a little bit in Cuba. But in June, I might go to Cuba. But if I don't go to Cuba in June, at the end of June, then I will come back to Colombia. In July, I'm going to Dallas for my friend's 40th birthday. But in August, we're coming back to Colombia because we're going for Petronio. In September, I got to stay home because my son is back in school. And September's a bit getting him back in school and all that stuff. But October, I go with my brother, wherever my brother wants to go for his birthday weekend. Then November, I'll probably be back in Colombia one more time. And in December, I'll be back in the States because it's Christmas. Unless I come to Colombia for New Year's, which who knows. So again, as you can see, I'm going to be coming to Colombia every other month so I can get used to what it's going to be like when I have a kid here. Mollywood Talk says Flyboy Wild. Shout out to the building, man. Global International says, I want to ask a question to every person in the chat. So if you guys want to answer Global International, feel free to answer in the comments. I'll go through your comments. I want to ask a question for every person in the chat. Is it culture or normal for for a Latina from Colombia to ask you for money within the first week of meeting her and you still date her? Okay. Yes. Here's why. Colombian women, and this is all my opinion, Colombian women who date foreigners understand that the foreigner is not able to be there every day. Because the foreigner is not there every day, she's not able to get the benefit of, let's say, if she dates a Colombian or a Venezuelan that lives in her city. However, she's giving something to him, whether she's giving him his time, even if she's doing a bunch of stuff, whether she's giving her ability whenever he comes back. So she's going to want something out of that to continue that. Now, depending on what lifestyle you showed her while you were in town, for example, shout out to Wendy. Wendy is probably if you haven't seen the last Barranquilla thing, you're not gonna understand what I'm saying. But you got to go back and watch the last Barranquilla videos. Wendy has the most amazing heart and personality I've ever seen in Colombia. Right, just a little bit notch above the Jamaican Colombian I hung out with. But Wendy had that personality. However, I showed Wendy a lifestyle of somewhat luxury because that's what I can bring. I can bring a lifestyle of somewhat luxury where you don't have to worry about food, you don't have to worry about money, you don't have to worry about stuff. I can bring that lifestyle. And I'm not talking about over luxury like I'm buying jewelry and fast cars and stuff. No, I'm just talking about a lifestyle of not needing anything. But I also told Wendy, like, hey, when I go home, I don't send money. When I'm back in my country, I don't send money. We can converse, we can talk, but unless you're my baby mother, I don't send money. Even though I do send money sometimes for Christmas, I might surprise them money. Like she was surprised when I sent the money for Women's Day, even though I don't send money. But I tell them I don't send money. And the reason why I tell them I don't send money is because if you ask me for money, I may give you money the first time. But it's in the back of my mind that you asked me for money. And I might give you money the first time. But if you come back again and you ask me for money again, I will cut you off. I won't kick it with you no more. Especially if you're not my baby mother. I won't kick it with you no more. And now you lost total access to what I bring. So when you said, is it normal? Yes, it's very normal for a woman to do that. However, the ask will determine what she really thinks of you. I had my Venezuelan woman ask me for, what did she ask me for? She didn't ask me. She gave a hint that she needed money to what was it first? To she needed money to get an ID because she hinted toward it because I said, hey, why don't you have your ID? And for those that don't know, you're in Colombia, you're allowed to show their ID on WhatsApp and they accept that. Everywhere you go, they accept you showing your ID on WhatsApp. I said, hey, why don't you get a passport? She's like, well, I don't have the money to get a passport. I'm not working right now. I'm in school. I said, all right, cool. I'll give you money for a passport. I said, cool. So I gave her some money for a passport. She put the passport and she said she's gonna get it, she's gonna got it. Cool. Then her mother got sick. Now you remember, whenever you hear the sick story, you gotta play it out. You don't react to it because if you react to it, you could be overreacting. And she never asked me for any money, but she kept hinting that her mother had bills to pay. And I was like, eh. But then she finally said, you know what? I gotta sell my bed. In order to pay my mother's bills, I have to sell my bed. And now I'm like, okay, maybe there's really something that happened to her mother. She's really going along with it. But remember, I'm still not sending money. So she said, I have to pay for a bed. So then she sells her bed to pay for her mother's bills. And she asked me for money. She said, hey, can you buy me a bed for me and my sister? Because I had to sell a bed that my sister and I sleep on in order to pay for my mother's hospital bills. And I met a sister on camera. I met a mother on camera. Still, I'm not one easily believing this stuff. So she shows me a picture of a blanket on the floor. I'm like, I hope she's not going this route. I say, hey, at this time, this is before the trip to Bogota. At this time, we had not really connected, but that one time in Barranquilla. And all the other days I was here, we never connected. I spent most of the time with Wendy. We never connected again because she was always busy. I said, you was busy this one time. We met one time. I told her, I texted, said, listen, we are not on a level where I'm going to spend $200 for a bed for you and your sister. We're not on that level. I didn't say it with passion, with aggressive. I didn't say, yo, why you always asking me for money? Why you always hitting towards money? I didn't say nothing like that because I understand that's part of the culture. I said, yo, listen, we're not on that level. I didn't say I wouldn't give it. I don't have it. I said, listen, I won't give it to you because we're not on that level. We don't have that bond yet where I'm going to send you $200 to get a bed for you, a little bit more than $200 to get a bed that you want for you and your sister. Did she stop talking to me? No, we kept talking. Did I get upset with her and talk different to her? No, we just kept talking. And she never asked for money again. So again, like, you have to expect that, but that doesn't mean that just because they ask for money, you need to cut them off. If you explain to them why you're not sending them the money, and then they act crazy, then you cut them off. But when I tell you, listen, we have not been on long enough. We have not been connected long enough to send the money. Now, again, remember, I did send her money to get her ID, to get her passport. And I said, hey, why don't you just use the money I sent you for your passport to get a bed? And she said, because I used the money to get the passport. And I said, that made me want to buy her a bed, but I still did not buy her a bed. Instead, I said, hey, when I come to see you in Bogota in May, which is only around the corner, I want you to take me to where you live. When I see where you live, if I walk in the room and I move around, I see your mother's room and I see that you and your sister sleeping on the floor, I didn't tell this part. I said, I just said I want to walk around where you live. But if I go there to where she lives and I see her bed and I see a bed where her mother has the bed, she said she's going to buy a bed before I come. So I said, if I walk around there and I don't see a bed in her sister's room, or I only see one bed for her and her sister to sleep in, I'm going to buy her a bed. I'm going to give her $200 to get a bed so her and her sister can sleep in separate beds. Why? Because again, when you show the lifestyle that you're willing to give a woman, and if there's a woman that you are considering having a kid with, when you do have a kid, she'll be more liable to follow whatever you say because she knows you are the bank. And remember, everybody, the bank controls everything. A lot of people forget about that. A lot of people forget that. Look at your comments. A lot of people forget that the bank controls everything. I was on shout out to Sunday Night Smoke podcast the other day, and I was like, yo, I don't understand these people in Thailand. I don't understand me personally. I don't understand giving a woman a stipend of $500. I don't understand giving a woman a stipend of $1,000. It's a cultural difference, but I don't understand it because if I'm giving a woman $500 or $1,000 a month for her to support her family needs to her family need to support me when I get there. For example, she got a sister, she got a mother that's legal to a sister that's legal, or a mother. Her mother need to be cooking me food when I get there. I better never have to. I better go in there and get cooked food. I better be invited to the house for all the events. If I'm the bank, I know people say, "Oh, this is so mean. You're so unrealistic." No, I'm realistic. Like, it's just how the world works. I'm not being mean with it. I'm just being real with it. Like, if I'm the bank, I'm the person that y'all need to be treating like a king. Whenever I walk, when I walk in the house, your grandmother better come bring me my slippers. Your legal sister better say you want a massage. Your mother better say we missed you. Here's some soup. Like, again, but what happens is that people, because they don't value how hard they work, how hard we work to get the capital that we have, they go there and they let the person that they're being the bank for control the assets, and that's when you end up with a person that's giving $1,000 a month, and then they go to the family house and they got to still give more, or you give a person who a woman cheats on him as soon as he leaves because there's no expectation of having to treat a person a special way based on the fact that they're the bank. So for me, that's not how it works for me. Like, I tell women, listen, it's a million women out here, bro. I'm gonna treat you with respect. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna treat you with respect. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. Like, if I'm sleeping with you, I'm not gonna sleep with a bunch of other chicks in front of you. I will sleep with other chicks. I'm not gonna throw it in front of you. If you're my baby mother, I'm not gonna disrespect you, even if we don't have a agreement and stuff. And all this stuff just plays into the bank. I'm the bank, man. We the bank. We the bank. And it's maybe sometimes it's not a man. Sometimes the woman's the bank. But men play along well when the woman's the bank. But again, some men, they don't understand that. Let's see. Eddie Kane says, I rock with you. I appreciate that, man. Black Phoenix says, work out and run, bro. Get your physical examination. Yo, dog. Here's the thing. And I told you we're going to go to like 8:00, so I'm trying to get to your messages personally and stuff. Here's the thing. Right now, I'm out of shape. I'm probably out of some shape. I'm probably not as bad as I was ever. I'm probably at the worst I've ever been. I'm out of shape, but because I'm doing so much, I don't have time to work out and keep that in my schedule. My job works me out somewhat because I'm always moving around. For those that don't know, you know where I work at. I move around a lot, but I eat fast food. I don't eat chicken. I don't eat pork. I don't eat red meat, but I eat fast food because I'm always on the go. When I retire at 50, I feel like I'll be able to get more in shape because I go to the gym consistently. But when I'm raising a kid that lives with me, my son, remember, you guys don't know, my son lives with me. When I'm raising a kid, I got real estate, so I'm dealing with different tenants. I got to go make sure everybody's okay. I got to go do stuff with the different houses. I still create videos. I still do lives. I still take part in family things. That family things go on. Ain't that many hours in a day. I still got to sleep. So for me, if I put in an hour, and I have a treadmill in my basement, if I put an hour on the treadmill, maybe I could watch a live video while I'm on the treadmill, but it's not consistent where I get that hour every day because I still got to sleep. So when I do retire, I hope to get in better shape. And I just hope that I keep myself in a decent shape right now while I'm moving around doing all this stuff. But I agree. I do need to exercise and run a little bit more. That's why when I do get a place in Colombia, it's going to have a gym. Like, whenever I go, it's going to have a gym. So whenever I come over here to go see my kid, I can work out. I can work out every morning. That's my plan. I work out every morning when I got a kid. I could start now, but again, remember, this whole live stream is about me learning how to slow down. It's about me getting disciplined in myself to slow down so I can have a schedule when I'm here where I don't feel like I got to do a bunch of stuff. I can go out and walk 2 miles in the morning. I can go out and walk in the gym or lift in the gym every morning on a consistent basis. Let's see. Jaim seems risky. Everything's risky, man. Nothing is ever guaranteed. But I don't want to live my life saying that, yo, I was too worried about risk that I didn't try something. Something that I really wanted to try. I do not know how the hell having a kid in Colombia is going to be. I know how I am as a father. Both of my kids know how I am as a father. I don't know how it's going to be in Colombia because now I got to really, really, really know a whole different language. Even if my kid is in international school, I don't know. But one thing I won't be happy with living with is being on my deathbed, knowing I didn't try. I didn't try to see what it was like. I didn't, and if I fail, I fail, but I'm not gonna fail miserably. My kid is gonna still have generational wealth because of everything I worked for. But we'll see. We'll see. Mollywood says I'm referring to little person. What is it? Molly referring to little person on one aspect of it. Hold on, I'm trying to get back to what Mollywood was at. I didn't see what Mollywood said first time. Shucks. I'm looking at it. Hold up. Flyboy, wow. Wow. You referring to the little person? Listen, again, the thing is that a lot of people, when 4 years ago when I did Cali Columbia and I do other videos, a lot of people weren't really watching the channel that much, or a lot of people wasn't watching the channel because sometimes like the little woman, I had her on the channel before. Like I met her a long time ago. I met her like 4 years ago. Like 4 years ago. She's been on the channel. But when I brought her on now, everybody's like, oh my God, this is so new. This is crazy. Some people haven't been on the channel that long. Some people just didn't know because I have a lot of videos, so I can understand. But yeah. That's La Leche. I mean, my fault. Her name now is La Chiquita. So yeah, she was. But before she wasn't as famous. She's super famous now. We was in a restaurant and people stopped her to take pictures. Like literally the restaurant people that were serving us food, like, can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? Because she's got like 340,000 subscribers on Facebook and like 130,000 subscribers on TikTok. She's known, followers on TikTok. King, let's see. King X, what up, King X? Or King Clee, what up? Shout out to Terrence Hill in the building. We're gonna end this live soon. We almost at the 8 o'clock mark. And I think I have to get dinner. I don't want to use Rappi because I had Rappi for. No, I didn't have Rappi for lunch because I feel like I don't want to go out, but I feel like I've been in the house all day, and if I eat, then it's like I'm eating and sitting and eating and sitting and eating and sitting. So I may just go out to get something to eat from the mall if it's still open and then come back. Because again, I got to be up in the morning early to go to the mall again to get my phone stuff. So while I think I'm still able to keep myself disciplined, I do need to get out the house at least once today because I've been sitting down all day. And going to the mall, I think is decent enough. Shout out to Vibrant Family Travels. Miguel Pablito says, can't argue with nothing he's saying. I appreciate that. Global Paper says, Flyboy, get rid of the fast food, sir. Make sure you get a colonoscopy done ASAP. Trust me, get your colonoscopy done before it's too late. No more fast food. Get green diet. Boy, so it's Global Paper, what up, man? Models and bottles in the building again. We all have our bad habits, man. We all have our bad habits that we're fighting. Not addiction, but our bad habits that we're fighting. I even do eat fast food that's healthy. However, it is so much more difficult to not just eat fast food when you don't cook and you don't have the time to cook really in the United States. Now here in Colombia, even when I order from Rappi, it's healthy stuff. I'll be ordering like salmon and pasta. I'll be ordering like vegetables and it like, I go out to eat. We went out and ate fish the other day and I had arroz con coco, which is like coconut rice. And I had, I did have fried fish, but it was still fish. And what else did I have? And all of them come with salads. So it's a lot more easier to eat healthy here in Colombia. A lot more easier. And the water. One thing is I don't drink a lot of water. I do drink a decent amount more now, but water. I stay hydrated very, very often. So again, I'm not making excuses. I do plan on trying to get there, but it's a process. It's a process. Um, Shout out to and as far as the colon, god dang, as far as the colon colonoscopy, god dang it. As far as them going up your butt, pause, to test your prostate and your colon and all that stuff, I'm going to get that done. The doctor just mentioned that. He's like, yo, you're 42. They recommended now at 45. I'm like, you sure? Because I thought it was 50. But he's like, he recommended at 45 now for you to get your prostate checked and your colonoscopy. So at 50, I will get all that done at 50. But I mean at 45, I will get that stuff done. I'm not in a rush to get somebody to dig up my butt though. That's just not it's not my thing. It's not my thing. There's nothing wrong with it, y'all. It's not my thing. I mean, let's see. Flyboy Wade. Why is Flyboy alone with no company in the Colombia? He missed a travel lover missed the whole conversation that we had. I don't even know if travel lover seen the thumbnail. The purpose is I am alone now because I'm trying to slow down. I'm trying not to always have so much stuff going on because I'm starting the process. I'm less than 10 years away. I'm 8 years away, less than 8 years away from retirement. And there's no way that I can just keep going at full speed and then come to a stop and it'll be okay. So I'm trying to work myself down, coming to Colombia all the time, every other month. And so I can see that I get here and I don't have to do stuff with a bunch of options. Shoot, the thumbnail of this live, I'll point it to you if you haven't seen it already, because I know the thumbnail sometimes doesn't come up. But I'll show you guys the thumbnail of this live so you can get why I'm not here with a girl right now. If you just joined the live, or if you don't remember, here we go. Look at the title of the live, y'all. Y'all look at the title of the live, y'all. The hardest part of living is staying still when you have so many options. Barranquilla, Colombia. I spoke earlier about I could have went on a date, or I could have went to the beach restaurant with the girls that wanted to be on YouTube. But instead, I'm learning how to stand still and not have to feel like I always got to be doing something. Although I am going to the mall, I won't IRL it, but although I am going to probably, if the mall's closed, maybe I'll treat myself to going to a restaurant alone. And this is because I really want to. I'm trying to get to that point where I don't feel like I gotta go out and do stuff all the time. But remember, this is only the third day. I was here Friday, I was here Saturday, and I'm here Sunday. Friday I was in Bogota with the Venezuelan girl. Yesterday I was in Barranquilla with the little woman. Today I'm doing nothing. Tomorrow I'm waking up, going to the mall with the Barranquilla Beauty so that I can get my phone switched. Then I'm going away for 3 days with Wendy so we can get to know each other more on a personal level in what I thought was Santa Marta, but it's really Tagagana. And then I come back. And then I'm going to link up with a tall woman. Remember, I'm not going with a bunch of different women this time. I got a bunch of women I can hit up right now to hang out. That wasn't the purpose of this trip. The purpose of this trip was to be able to calm down and link and figure out which one, Wendy or the tall girl, that I was willing to hopefully have a kid with, if not the Venezuelan girl. So that was the whole purpose of this trip. We're just trying to slow down, enjoy life, prepare for retirement, and figure out how it's going to be. So when Travel Lover says, why is Flyboy alone with no company in Colombia? Dog, you gotta watch the other videos. Flyboy, get your code, because he said you get it done ASAP. Global paper, that's crazy. And I text messages, Instagram messages, invites. No. Let's see. All right, we got to the end of the messages, and then I'll get to the end of the message. I have one more message left, and then I'll give you guys a rundown of my whole plan again, staying here because somebody asked it earlier in the chat. 916 says, I eat the same amount of food but still lose weight when I'm here in Colombia versus the United States. The food in the system, the US food system is poison. I don't want to say I don't want to call it poison. I'll just say that you have more options in the United States for food. So when you have more options for food, it's more likely you're going to get stuff that could lead to more weight gaining and stuff like that. In Colombia, you don't have as many options, and their options are all more healthy, all are far more healthier, far more healthy. You can eat the same healthy stuff in the United States you do in Colombia, but it's going to cost you a lot more. You don't believe me? Think about this. If I get food from ShopRite or Stop and Shop, it's far less expensive than getting food from Whole Foods. But Whole Foods is far more healthier. That's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. All right, y'all. So let me walk you guys through my plans while we're here, what we went through so far, and then I'm going to end this live stream. If you guys ask any questions in the meantime, I'll get y'all questions before we end it, but then we're going to end the live stream. We've been on for like 2 hours. So, when I got here in Bogota, I got linked up with my Venezuelan woman. That was Friday. I left after work at Friday. I left after work at Friday and at 5 o'clock. And what I realized is that from Newark, New Jersey, I actually have a direct flight to Bogota, which is the coolest thing ever. It's only 5 hours and 10 minutes. I used to have to go to Fort Lauderdale to come to Barranquilla, but now I can go to Bogota, so I'm already in Colombia. And if in Bogota, I can catch a cheap flight to Barranquilla. So that's what I did. I linked up with her. We had a great time. We talked about stuff. Gave her the dulce she wanted, and that was that. Yesterday, I got to film content with La Leche or La Chiquita now, and we talked. We reminisced since we haven't seen each other since Cali 3-4 years ago, and we connected. We made content. We went to the store, IRLs on other channel, the Fly Boy Live. That was cool. Today, I'm just resting. I'm taking a break. I kind of did something similar on the other Barranquilla trip. I wanted to share with you guys a lot of stuff, have a conversation. We had that. Tomorrow, I'm going to get my phone changed because I do have when I first got my Claro plan, I got help from the Barranquilla Beauty, and she got me on the Claro plan because if you don't know, if you don't have a cedula and you're not legally in Colombia for long-term visa, you won't be able to get a Claro plan. You only have to go to Exito prepaid plan. But now I have a Claro plan because she helped me get a plan. But she's going to help me tomorrow because I want to switch from this to this. I want to switch from my Android to iPhone. My international phone, it'd be an iPhone. My other phone is an Android. So I'll have one and one for whatever purposes. After that, I come back here. And then my driver, I have a driver, my military friend I've known since the first time I came to Barranquilla in 2019. I've been cool with him. And he's going to take me and Wendy to, I thought Santa Marta was it, but we're going further out to a beach, a mountain beach town called Taganaga, which is like 30 to 40 minutes from Santa Marta. I hope to go to Santa Marta one day for a little bit, maybe during the day, and then come back to Taganata. But it's supposed to be more of a peaceful retreat for me and Wendy to really just get to know each other. I do plan on live streaming. I do plan on having conversations similar to this. And we do plan on catching some video on IRL. But most of the time, I do want to just give her the time so we can figure stuff out if it's going to go the kid route. Then when I get back on Wednesday, I'm going to link up with the tall woman. Now, unfortunately, you guys are not going to be able to see me with the tall woman on camera because it caused a lot of problems when I just took a video short with her last time. And if it caused a lot of problems, even if she wanted to be on the team, it's going to be difficult to really get her to open up to see if she can fit the team without with her having to worry about recording because she's in the situationship. So that's the issue right there. But and then on Thursday, I don't really have plans, but I could probably do something also. Now, Friday or Saturday, I plan to go to Kili. Kili is a beach club, and I plan to live stream from Kili. Kili is a beach club in Puerto Colombia. I don't know if I'm going to go Friday or Saturday yet. One, because I don't know which day if I want to do anything on the last day because I have to leave Sunday morning early, like 3 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know if Saturday I really want to do a lot of stuff. and also because there's a brother who is here, also another brother who's here, who's in Santa Marta, who's coming back here, and I told him I could link up with him, and I would like to go with somebody else, like another brother, to Killy, because Killy I could bring a bunch of joints, and thanks, luckily because the woman who invited me today with her friends, if I tell her to bring her friends and me and a homie go, and me and the brother I met here go, and it's four of them and it's two of us, then I know they'll come back because they know I'll be paying for the bill, so I don't have to worry about that. So again, that's the plan up to Saturday being here. Hopefully you guys stay tuned. We'll be on this channel as well as the live channel. The IRLs will only be on the Flyboy Live, but we'll be doing stuff here. Let's see. Let me get you. I see a couple quick questions, and then we end this live. You've been 1 hour 40 minutes. Cool. Driver seat says, how much for Pound Town choice of select? Of course, we're on the main channel, so I really can't go into detail about that. You got to hit me up on Instagram. I can't really say too much about that. How do you protect yourself from diseases and getting robbed? Who's that? Driver seat says, how do you protect yourself from diseases and getting robbed? Thank you for reminding me. I need to take my pill. Hold on. Okay, I am in strata 5 of Barranquilla. I am not one of those people. I am from North New Jersey. I'm from the hood, quote unquote. I am not one of them people who feel as though it's an adventure to go to another. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't want to come off as condescending. Hopefully, it doesn't come off as condescending. I'm not one of those people who thinks it's an adventure to go to an impoverished place and show video of the people in the hood. It's not my thing. If I'm invited to a hood party, I may go. I may not go. But most of the time, if I'm dealing with a hood chick, I'm bringing her up to the good area. So that prevents me from getting robbed. Um, I also don't wear chains. Sometimes I wear jewelry, but I left my watch at home. Sometimes I wear my watch, but I don't wear chains. I don't wear earrings. I mean, I don't wear my finger. I wear my earrings, but I don't wear chains or big fancy watches and stuff like that. I also speak Spanish, not perfectly, but I'm about 60 to maybe 65% fluent. Um, Again, I also don't stay anywhere that's not safe. You see where I'm staying? You see the area? You see how neat? You see the big screen TV? I don't stay somewhere that's unsafe. Um, I don't go outside at night and walk at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I take Ubers, drivers, or whatever. So that's how I feel as though I stay safe from not getting robbed. How do I not? How do I protect myself from diseases? Condoms, and currently I take PrEP pills. PrEP pills are to protect you from HIV. I have a regimen that I do that my doctor said is legit, and I do 2 pills before I go on my trip. The day before I go on my trip, and I do 1 pill every day of my trip, and then 1 pill for 2 days after my trip. This is 99%. And it's not me giving you promotion. I'm just telling you what doctor said to me. These are 99% effective on protecting you from catching the HIV virus. I get tested. I just got tested in March on March 31st before I came here. And the reason why I got tested is because I do plan on having a kid, and I want the women that I want to have a kid to know that, yo, listen, this is something I do all the time to make sure I'm protected. So hopefully that answers your question on how I avoid getting robbed and how I stay STD free. Now, of course, there's other STDs you can catch besides HIV, but I showed you the condom. Mm. Mm. All right, we got we'll do 2 hours on the dot. It's one. We've been on here for 1 hour and 44 minutes. I want to give you guys the legitimacy of it, so I'm giving you 2 hours on the dot. So you guys got any questions? Ask them now. I'll stay on for 2 hours on the dot, so you can see I stay on for 2 hours. I see some questions moving up, Brett. Ugh. It's always good to have insurance, yo, because with insurance, he's like $7. He's like $7 with insurance a month. $7 for a month worth. But I don't take them every day because I don't travel all the time. But let's see. All right, we got 15 more minutes. Let me get your comments. Let's see. Latin Airlines or Avianca for Newark. Chalup. It's United. Like for me to get to Bogota, it was United Airlines, and they give you food. They give you food, something to drink, and it's like a 5 hour and 10 minute flight. So it's not nothing crazy. It's like going out of Miami is like 4 hours, and then you got to catch another 2 hours. So normally it would take you like 6 hours to get to Barranquilla, but going to Bogota was a 5 hour and 10 hour flight. 5 hours and 10 minute flight. Shout out to Habitual Traveler in the building. Driver says, selling the 7 C's in what the pill for? Again, the pill is to protect you from HIV. That's the only thing it protects you from HIV. I mean, you can still catch herpes. You can still catch syphilis. You can still catch all that stuff. So I would still say use a condom. But I make sure I take the pill. I mean, even though you can say, oh, I see bumps. If bumps is an issue, I still take the pill because, like, aside from herpes, HIV is probably the worst thing you can catch because it changed your life forever. And I don't want to risk that. I got kids. So again, I'm not perfect. But I try to, I try to do something that can help. You know what I mean? And it's not like I said, this time I'm not here to. I'm never really here to sleep with a bunch of women. It just sometimes happens just naturally. I do the same thing in the States. Well, I used to do the same thing in the States. Now I only have one woman in the States. But I used to do growing up. I used to do in the States, but now, as I get older, I'm not able to do it as much without like really being concerned with my kids growing up, and I do want a kid in Colombia, so that's why I get tested. I get tested every April normally, but this time I got tested in March because I knew I was coming here, and I knew the 2 women I'm considering, or 2 or 3 women I'm considering to have a kid with. And if we talk about stuff and it works out, I want to be able to try to shoot it up right there. So again, this is me being transparent, y'all. Y'all know me for being fully transparent. I know some people are not going to agree with it, and I hope you don't agree with everything I do. Just because it might not work for you, it works for me. Shout out to Brooklyn GQ, Brooklyn GQ in the building. Flyboy, just continue to protect yourself at all times. Big facts. Great One says, are they checking bags in airports in Barranquilla? I don't think so. But when I caught the Bogota flight, I got into Bogota at 10 o'clock. There really wasn't that many people in Bogota. Once you're in the place where they're checking the bags sometimes, and this is one thing I told somebody in the DMs earlier. If 1.5 million people go to Medellin every year, and 200 of them get sent back home, is that a significant enough number to have to worry about not going to Medellin? 95% of the people, or 99% of the people who were sent back for whatever reasons Colombia sent them back for, was either in Bogota or Medellin. 95% of them was in Medellin. 5% was in Bogota, not 4% or something like that was in Bogota. I went directly to Bogota. When I got there at nighttime, the guy just asked me the questions that they normally ask. Hey, what are you here for? Now, I did say this in Spanish because, again, I speak Spanish. He said, what are you here for? I said, I'm here for tourism. How long are you staying? So I think like 9 days. It wasn't like an exact number because I wasn't trying to count it. I said 9 days. He's like, okay, where are you staying? I said, Edificial Matilda. He said, what's the address? I said, I don't know. Hold on, let me check. I went to check my phone. I didn't have a picture. So I said, hold on a second. I started putting stuff on the counter. He sat there calmly. He looked at me. He sat there calmly. I finally went down Airbnb. I found the address. I showed him the Airbnb address. He said, thank you. He stamped my passport and he gave it back. He said, you have a great time, great night. That was it. That was it. So again, is it something that you should worry about? Like, people say you shouldn't bring condoms in your bag. I mean, somebody said something that kind of made sense. I think what's happening with the people that are getting caught, the majority of them, or getting not caught, the people who are getting sent back home, the majority of them, and I could be wrong, I think the majority of them are on something called an angels list, where they like have people who have felonies or people who have S charges or people who have something up, and they're still not sending everybody on that list home. But what they're doing is once they see that you're on a list, then they're pulling you to the side, or and then from there they're sending you back home if you don't come off right. I do believe that one of the content creator named Skitch from Baltimore, he said he got pulled over the side. He's not on the angel list. He doesn't have any felonies that he said, and he just talked to him. And after a couple hours, they let him go on along his business. He had condoms in his bag and everything, and they let him go along with his business. So again, even I was kind of tempted to find out what the hell was going on. A little bit nervous about bringing a lot of condoms and stuff because of that. I even packed. I put my medicine, the prep stuff in my regular carry-on bag just because I didn't know what's going on. I'm carrying 3 different phones. I got all this. This camera stuff. But literally, I walked into Bogota. That what I told you happened, and he let me in. And once you're in the country, when you go domestically, you don't go through customs again. So that's what. Once you're in the country, you don't go. So when I was in Barranquilla, it wasn't like no customs to go through. And now when I came to Barranquilla for Carnival, I did go through customs, and that was in February, and there was no issue. There was no issue when I came through customs. I just had my bag, they checked my bag, and they put me inside again. So it really just depends, man. But 1.5 million people going through Medellin, 200 people get shot out just because it's on the news. It doesn't mean that it's happening to everybody. It just means the percentage wise, 200. Hold on a second. Let's just do this right real quick. We got 8 minutes. What percentage is 200 of 1.5 million?
The answer is approximately 0.0133.
So you have about a 0.0133 chance of getting sent home if you go to Medellin, Colombia. Are you kidding me? That you should be worried about stuff like that. Again, I don't know if you got felonies, if you got S charges, maybe don't pack condoms, but or toys. But come on, man, let's be realistic here. 0.0133% of the people who came to Medellin got sent home. I don't know, man. Let's see. You're a brave fellow. He said, you're a brave fellow. I'm not going to those countries. I feel you. Brooklyn GQ says, Flyboy, just continue to be yourself. Check this out. You definitely are you checking bags? Great one. Again, so we answered that just now. Terrence Hill says, excellent idea. Driver seats, there are so many lonely people in America. Divorce, breakups. There's lonely people everywhere, but yeah. Did you go to PR already? Yeah, I got a video on PR from last year. I went to PR twice. Once I went with a Puerto Rican woman that I was really cool friends with. I'm still cool friends with her now. We just haven't talked in a while. And the second time I went by myself last year, and I got videos up there too. Also, hold on, y'all. It's Clear Sky. Shout out to Clear Sky. Driver seat 1707 says you could have taken a subway ride to Roosevelt, Queens to meet the next Colombian woman. It's not about the woman being Colombian that I want to have a Colombian kid with. It's about it being a different country because the rules in the United States are still the rules in the United States. I have two kids in the United States. I've never been on child support. My son lives with me. My daughter lives in the house I own. So like it really has nothing to do with um not being able to get a girl from Colombia in the States. It's all about understanding spreading out generational wealth helps you keep the wealth better. So if something goes wrong in the United States, my daughter, who is Ghanaian because her mother's from Ghana, can go to Ghana and be okay. My son, who is white American, can stay in the United States, white American and black, because I'm black, can stay in the United States and be okay. My next kid will be in Colombia, can live in Colombia, live in the United States, and they'll be okay. That's me giving my kids options that a lot of other people who just have kids in the United States who are only attached to the United States don't have. And if Colombia and Ghana mess up, all my kids have United States access because I'm a United States citizen. So again, that's thinking above or not above. That's thinking differently from the status quo of what they people know. Doesn't mean it's gonna work, but you know. Capricorn Way said, "What's the name of the pill?" Shucks. Give me a second again, because there are different type of prep pills, but the name of the prep pill I have is hold up. The name of the prep pill I have is emitriptyline and tenofovir. EMTRICITABINE and TENOFOVIR. It's 200 milligrams, 200/300 milligrams. So emitriptyline and tenovil. I can't pronounce this. I'm out here trying to pronounce this and make me sound literate. And me pronouncing that is gonna make me sound literate. So I spelled it out for you guys. Hopefully you got that. Yeah, hopefully you got that. And good. We down to the last 3 minutes. Are you going back to Brazil in the future? Clear Scott says, "Am I going back to Brazil in the future?" I would go back to Brazil in the future. I enjoyed my time in Brazil. I think Brazil is probably one of the best places to have a vacation. I don't feel as though it's a place I would ever want to live for an extended amount of time. Could I stay there for a month? I think so. Maybe even 2 months. But I'm not the type of person, because I've been to Sao Paulo and I've been to Rio. I don't like the fact that it is almost expensive to go from more expensive to go from Rio to Sao Paulo or to go to different parts of Brazil, which I don't even know many parts of it, than it is to fly in the United States. I can go to Florida cheaper from Miami. I go to Miami cheaper. I can go to Houston cheaper. So and technically outside of Rio, it can get dangerous in Brazil. Even in Sao Paulo could get a little dangerous. So I do plan on going back to Brazil, possibly, but when I retire. But all that's gonna wait till after I retire. So when I retire, I do plan on going back to Brazil for a visit. I enjoy my time. In Brazil. Specifically Rio. I actually had a good layover day in Sao Paulo, going to the mall and all that stuff. But the language barrier, it doesn't make me enjoy it as much as other places. Chulupe says Skita, they were questioning him because he had a bunch of cameras. Again, yeah, I spoke about that earlier. So again, we did the numbers. You talking about 0.013% of the people, 0.0. Wait, my fault. 0.0. That's not 0.13. That's 0.013. That's not even 1. That's not even 1%. That's 0.0. So is it? I mean, you can go to government warnings and stuff. Now there are some places that I would like to go, but I'm not going to go. Like I want to go to La Guajira, but the government did put a warning there, and it is close to Venezuela, and it's more secluded. And if I get kidnapped, I'm going to have to worry about my kids. I'm going to have to worry about paying the ransom. I'm going to lose a lot of money if I do pay a ransom, and I might lose my life. So though going out that far, I might not go out that far, but which is 3 hours away, getting that close. But you know. And good. We had the 2 hour mark. So let me answer this last question. Driver C says, "Have you been to Trinidad?" Yes, I've been to Trinidad. I've been to Trinidad during Carnival. I have videos up from Trinidad and Tobago Carnival on my channel. When I also went to Mashu Montana's Insomnia event, which is probably something I probably shouldn't have did, but I had a great time because it's super dangerous if you're going by yourself and you're not a local. But it was I guess my energy and the people I met, I lucked up and it was so exciting. And the punching, I'm never drinking that again. So yeah, I think I'm never drinking punching again. Yeah, never. I never say never, but most likely won't ever drink punching again. But I did have Trinidad. I felt like they treated me like family. I even went to St. James, which is more the rougher part of Trinidad. I was staying in Port of Spain. I went to St. James, which is more of a rougher part of Trinidad, but I was with the White Angels during Juve. Juve could get dangerous. There's a lot of fights in Juve, but it was super fun. And the squad I was with the White Angels, they really helped us down. I was by myself. They treated me like family. I don't think I'm gonna ever eat shark again. I don't think I'm gonna ever eat shark again. Shark doesn't agree. My stomach does not agree with shark. The doubles, my stomach doesn't agree with the doubles. But the food in Trinidad was good. It's just my stomach. Oh, the KFC in Trinidad was smacking. I'll probably say KFC in Trinidad is probably the best food I've ever had. I mean, best KFC I've ever had. Like it's just different. It's just different. So yeah, I've been to Trinidad. Calcutta is on that list. Yeah, I don't know. Again, like I said, I real quick, Wendy wanted to go. She wanted to go because she knows the beauty of it. My military driver said that it is safe to go there, but I am a United States citizen. So for them, it's safe because they're Colombian. For me, it's a little bit unsafe, not because of violence as far as somebody can hurt you, but because once they know, even though I'm black and I could probably blend in a little bit, once they know you're a United States citizen, it might not be someone from Venezuela that comes get me. It might be somebody in Colombia that has a connection with Venezuela that knows if we tell them we got a United States citizen staying in our hostel, it might just be a worker, like a cleaning worker. We got a United States citizen staying in our Airbnb unit. And then they get paid $10,000. People come get me. Now I'm on ransom for $100,000. I got to take $100,000 out of my house. I got to sell my house, take $100,000 out, and then pay that ransom. And now I'm down because I wanted to go to a place that looked good. So again, there's a lot of steps I got to take, and a lot of stuff I think about when I do stuff like that. And Big Michael says La Guajira is super safe, no threats there. But hopefully you just got the explanation of what I said. There are some parts that are safe, but the risk of it for me right now, when I got kids, maybe when I retire, but right now when I got kids and I got stuff that I'm doing, it's not worth the risk. It's just not worth the risk. It being on the border of Venezuela with United States and Venezuela going through their little situation, even though a lot of people did like the fact that the president took Maduro and their situation now they like it much better. There are some people who are hardcore Maduro lovers and hardcore people who didn't agree with what the United States did, who, if they have an opportunity to not only strike back, but also make a profit off of it, and all they got to do is to kidnap some black kid that's from the United States, knowing that the United States ain't going to really pay. They don't know that the United States ain't really going to come and save you. So you got to hope that you got the money. So again, it's not worth the risk. Risk reward. When you got kids on that level, risk reward. Risk reward. Risk. Let's see. Gil Prince said punching this stag. Yeah, I'm not touching punching again, bro. Again, I'll never say never, but I'm not touching punching again, bro. I don't know what happened. I felt like I walked home 30 miles. Like I was floating, bro. Like, yeah, nah. Um, let's see. Chalupa, I'm gonna get to the end of your comments. We're gonna end this over 2 hours. Ninjas stay trying to be the first in Venezuela. Cucuta is right on the border. Yeah, nah, I'm good with that. Venezuela should be the next hot spot. It could be with time. And if I do have a kid, like I said earlier, if I do have a kid with the girl in Bogota that y'all seen, that gives me a visa to go to Venezuela whenever I want, and a visa to come to Colombia whenever I want through the M visa. I'm able to do both, because she's a Venezuelan citizen, which means that the kid that we have will be part Venezuelan. So, but yeah, I wouldn't do it. But I appreciate everybody for joining this live. Y'all been on. We've been on for 2 hours. Y'all stay. We on live. I got to figure out what I'm gonna eat for dinner. And then I guess I see you guys on tomorrow video. So it's your boy FRE $H Fresh at the Flyboy Way. That's THEFLYBOYWAY. Don't ask why, just check out the channel. And I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace.